Hello and welcome, my soul tribe, to the astrological report of this very important moment, the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction in Pisces. Now, why is this so big? This event happens every 166 years because um, Jupiter moves in every sign with a longer orbit, and Neptune has an even longer, much longer orbit. So, this is a very important pivotal moment of shift and change, and let me explain why. So, Pisces, being the last sign of the zodiac, is all about flushing away and shedding whatever has played out its relevancy, in your life. Um, And as we move into the month of April, which is the first sign of the zodiac, which has a lot of forward momentum always, it's all about change and moving forward. Through that shedding and into the new, there's so many new people to meet, places to go, things to do, and you are upgrading to a whole different level. Now, the energies of Pisces, which is a very deep water sign, Neptune is being the ruler of Pisces. It's in Pisces, and Jupiter is conjuncting them, expanding this entire thing. So this is very watery energy. So what does that mean? Well, there is a possibility of like floods and water and literal and metaphorical, tears, emotions, processing of emotions, all of that, very deep emotion. But through that processing, you can come out of it. So if you do not process your emotions, and if you have bottled them in the past, they're going to come out for processing and an outburst. And once you do process them, once you do go through them, and then it is going to activate a full rebirthing. And I know we've been through a lot of rebirth moments lately, especially in the last 3 months. However, this is, you have to understand, each time that you shed a layer, it helps you ascend. And each time you are moving to a higher octave, there is a need to shed off a layer. And this is a moment where you literally are touching the divine, because Neptune and Pluto are all about the divine. This is a beautiful moment for any kind of divination and downloads and deep downloads, and it's very mystical and magical and miraculous, and which is why it's going to magnify your manifesting ability. So this is a great time to really truly focus on what you want to come into your life, your dreams. Focus on your dreams, focus on what you're magnifying without any limitations, because Pisces is deep water, it's flowy, there are no limits to it, and it is through the flow. It is also about unconditional love. Pisces is about unconditional love. So the lessons, a lot of the lessons that many may be learning, are about how to come from an unconditional place and space to be able to move into this, how to move into the unconditional flow from a very rigid type of lifestyle into a more flowy lifestyle, or whether it's lifestyle, whether it's breaking encrusted deep old belief systems and patterns. It is all about releasing all of the blocks to the flow. And when you're in the flow is when things, emotions are water, finances are water. So all of those can flow smoothly and as such manifest. And this moment teaches about how we're all connected as living beings. It talks about oneness through talking about that unconditional love. There are moments and there are people who can reach that very space of oneness within this conjunction timeline. And Also, April is a month which is very close to the equinox. So it is about the light and the dark. It is about the masculine and feminine. So we're seeing a lot of healing of the wounds of the masculine and feminine at this point. But the equinox is about bringing to e- equality or equanimity, but it is not about peace. It is about feeling of those wounds, really deeply feeling, whether it's wounds or whether it's simply understanding of something. It's a aha moment. It could also be growth, but it's not linear growth. It's internal growth. It's growth which is of the unseen. Um, it is it is the growth of releasing deep encrusted patterns, and it's non-linear, very non-linear, very flowy. So it is about bringing in that light from the divine, which only comes in through the allowance of the flow, whether it is the allowance of the release or whether it is the allowance of the divine to enter you. And yeah, now there are some flip sides to this, because Neptune is can also be very deceiving. So in the collective, what could happen is, there could be delusion, any kind of deception happening in the collective can also be exposed. So this is also a time when hidden things are exposed uh, through Jupiter. But Neptune this time can also be beautiful for all sorts of creative things like writing and poetry and music. Music is very Neptunian, and art. And a great time for vivid dreams, astral travel, and also for um, remembering those dreams and getting messages through those dreams and getting messages from the divine. And it truly, for light workers, it's going to help you break your encrustation and move to your next level very quickly. A lot of you may be getting body aches or headaches and DNA upgrades, because there's a lot of crystalline light pouring into the light body. So and again, the polarity is so vast. I must say this, the polarity, if you are really tuned in, you're getting a lot of upgrades, and if you are shedding, then there is a lot of shedding. So there is not too much in between at this point, and we must pick the higher octave and move through this emotion to come to the other side. This is the time. There really is the time. So make the most out of this beautiful Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. And we have 2 new moons in April. One of them is a partial solar eclipse. There is a lot of activity, a lot of solar activity around now. So definitely continue to work in these beautiful realms and have a precious rebirth. That's what I'm gonna call it. Happy rebirthing. Let's flow.